Okay, Corey, Professor Anton, I'm going to try to clarify my take on God, in my opinion, and try to see yours, and try not to just talk past each other. Now, for me, and I have to issue this disclaimer at the very beginning, I think that the concept of God is unnecessary. A lot of times. And in fact, it's almost all, I can't think of a time where the concept of God is necessary. And I want to specifically talk about, you mentioned the Stoics. It was really helpful when you mentioned the Stoics because you talked about the Stoics in the past, but to be honest, I wasn't connecting the dots, that you were actually talking about God as it relates to the Stoics. And the only reason I know a lot about this, or something about this, is because I've studied Spinoza's idea of God. So I know how Spinoza saw God. And I know there's a lot of overlap, and I know that Spinoza was very influenced by the Stoics. One area which I'm particularly interested in, where I think they deviate, and it's hard to speak for all the Stoics, I realize that, and for the fact that a lot of their philosophy has to be more or less reconstructed, or at least a lot of scholars think it is. So, at any rate, as I understand, and people have tried to find, scholars have tried to find the direct correlates between the Stoics and Spinoza, and there are some logistical problems with that. But I'm just going to suspend all that and talk about how I think they differ mostly, and you can correct me because I'm sure you know a lot more about this than I do. As I understand, most of the Stoics believed that what they conceived of as God was the way that the universe made itself intelligible. And that's not just anthropomorphically intelligible, but intelligible. For Spinoza, his conception of God is different in that for Spinoza, God is reality or nature. So there's no, it's not about the principle of intelligibility, but about the fact that they are synonymous. Now, I mean, in other words, another way of putting that is that God is, for the Stoics, God is coexistent, continuous with the cosmos. For Spinoza, God is the cosmos. Now, I could, clarify that, correct me. The reason I find that pretty interesting is, and of course Einstein also took up this kind of idea of God, which seems to me that when you add God in this sense to the equation, it's not value added. I mean, if you're going to talk about the intelligibility of the cosmos, why not just talk about the intelligibility of the cosmos? Or if you're going to talk about the reality of the world or the reality of the universe, why not just talk about that? Why do you need this intervening concept between you and the thing you're talking about? So that's what I'd like clarity on, because I'm totally adrift on that, and I would really appreciate some clarity. Thanks.